Joining us every Wednesday on the BetQL Guest Hotline is the head coach of the Washington Capitals, Spencer Carbery. He's presented by the Centers for Advanced Orthopedics. More locations, more advanced care centered around one thing you. Visit CFAortho.com. Got to tell you, Coach, more fun to talk to you when you're coming off 3 straight wins.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
Yeah, see, it sounds better. You got a little more
chipper.
You got a little more pep
Yeah,
in
he
your
sounded
step.
different than last week.
Yeah, last week you were down.
Maybe it's the Halloween candy buzz. How did Halloween go for you?
Excellent. The kiddos, we took them out last night and buzzed around the neighborhood. It was a good evening.
What were the costumes?
Yeah, do you dress up?
So I did, as we had a little staff get together. So my wife and I, we did dress up. We were Ariel from The Little Mermaid, and I had the whole wig. I was Prince Eric.
Yeah, see, the bald guys go for the wigs. I did the same with my costume, Coach. I'm in lockstep with
Is
you,
that
my
a
friend.
thing, like a subconscious thing?
I'm sure it is. It has to be at some
So you're
point.
desperate for hair.
Yeah,
so
desperate. Me and Coach Carb's desperate to rock the hair during Halloween.
Yeah. I get one day a year where I can pull it off, so I got to enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time you had a full head of hair, Coach
Ooh,
Carbery?
Good question.
My wedding in 2009.
Wow.
It was full head though, and you thought you were good to go, like you had a glorious future.
Well, I probably could have held on, but
Yeah.
I had
You just
shaved
bailed.
my head for years, and
Yeah.
I said, you know what, just be done with
Yeah,
it.
it looks like yours is meticulously maintained. That has to be like an everyday razor shave. I have to guess. What's the maintenance like?
Every 2 days.
Every two days. Okay.
Wow.
Solid.
And then are you have to really take your time? Do you cut yourself?
No, so they make, it's unreal. They make these. It's sort of like, almost looks like a one of those electric face shavers, but they do it for that you can use on your head. It's got like 5
Right.
heads on it, and it's literally 2 minutes. Boom.
Wow.
Oh, I might have
perfect.
to invest in one of
You
those.
need one,
Yeah, I
Case.
definitely need one.
Yeah, you need
Well,
one.
I'm telling you, well worth it. Well
Okay.
worth it.
All right, so Coach, so you got 3 in a row, and remember when we talked to you, the one sort of silver lining last week was, like, statistically, you got, like puck luck. I don't know all the
Expected goals.
jargon. Yeah, like you guys were like way behind expectation, which over a longer sample size should play out. And is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, it's exactly what's happening. We're still not converting as much as we would like, but we're doing a better job, and we're continuing to work on that of finding ways to score and finish opportunities and control play. Still not at a rate that we would like with what we're able to generate, but we've been able to, finish in some areas. Special teams has picked up, so we're some things have started to go our way where those first few games, it seemed like everything was going the other way.
So, Coach, you get a 3-day break between the Sharks and the Isles game. There are not a lot of 3-day gaps built in season. Is that more of an advantage for some of the banged up and or older guys on the roster to get that extra day of rest? Or does that hurt a little because you guys are on a 3-game heater? You just want to keep it going and stay in that rhythm.
I think the rest, just because coming off of, like, we played 3 and 4, Toronto, New Jersey, Minnesota, then a day, then San Jose, so there's your 4 and 6. So it's a lot of games, and through those games as well, we've relied on a select few, probably playing a few more minutes than we would like because of the game flow and how tight they were and the tie games and the overtimes and all that stuff. So I think for our group, having 3 days to sort of reset here and get ready for basically a 2-game set, because then we have another 3-day break. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday we're off. But so there's sort of 2 games in 3 nights against the Islanders in Columbus.
Talking to Coach Spencer Carbery and the Washington Capitals, they've won 3 in a row. So I don't know if you know this. We have Dylan Strome on the show every Thursday. So
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, so Stromer comes on with us, and we're getting to know him just like we're getting to know you. He's got 6 goals in 5 games, and what I was wondering is, when you think about this team, obviously you start with Ovi, and you've got all these vets like Backy and Oshie and Willie, and you kind of know what they do. And Stromer's kind of a background guy, but now he's got 6 goals. He's your leading scorer, and looking at his career high is 23 goals. Could he potentially be like a 40-goal guy? Like, how good can Dylan Strome be?
Oh, I think he has potential without question. I mean, I don't know like the exact number, but he's coming out of junior and sort of the early parts of his career. He was a very highly touted, and I coached against him in junior, elite junior player, and picked high. So a lot of potential. He's always had that. And I feel like having watched his career progression and have seen him in different organizations that he was a part of, but I feel like now he's sort of the way that I look at him and I see his game and how he's matured, and sort of he looks like a real confident high-end NHL player. And so it almost feels like he's sort of hitting his stride in the league, maybe a little bit later than people would have expected, but certainly an elite player in this league and is backing it up early in the season.
And you have to give McClellan credit for seeing that in him at such a young age, signing him to the one-year deal, was that about a year and a half ago? And then he comes in, he performs well for the Caps, and he earns his extension that he just signed, I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, and he's earning every bit of it, and credit to the organization for identifying that and him coming in here and taking advantage of opportunity. Like they, as you guys know, we're we have opportunity inside our forward group for guys to step in and play prominent roles and maybe a little bit younger to infuse some energy, enthusiasm into our lineup, and he's taking advantage of it.
And the uptick basically happened right after he took a puck off the left cheek in the Montreal game. Like, just proves again that NHL players, they're tougher than like 99.9% of the rest of Earth's population. Because if I got hit in the face with a puck like that, I would call an ambulance. And I would want to go straight to the hospital. These guys don't even miss a shift.
You complained about a finger after bowling for almost a year.
Coach, I had nerve damage in my thumb after a rough night of bowling with the fellas. It happens, especially when you're in your late 40s, early 50s.
How crazy is that, right? Sports, like so on that play, and I remember it, I could see it in my head right now. The Montreal player tries to clear a puck and rips the thing, and it goes right up and hits Stromer right in the cheek. Mm-hmm. And so here's the luck part of it is, thankfully the puck doesn't go on its side. It's flat, so it essentially like flat slapped the side of his face. If that goes in like a normal shot, like vertically or horizontally, and hits it, probably breaks his jaw. Mm. And he's probably out, and he's probably got his jaw wired shut. And that's actually, if you ask Stromer, I talked to him about it the next day. He's like, I thought my jaw was broken, so I was scared to open up my mouth. But thankfully, it hit flat on his cheek, so it was almost like a slap, and it doesn't, when the puck sits up like that, it doesn't come with as much velocity, and B, it's not quite as forceful when it hits you. So, I mean, obviously he had a huge mark and he was a little sore, but he didn't miss a shift. And then next thing you know, his season turns around and essentially turns it around for us with his production.
So, Coach, talk about Hunter Shepard's first win. That was kind of a crazy game. You guys had been losing, and then you get a flood of goals in the first period, and then they get a flood of goals back. Ultimately, you end up winning 6-4, I believe, with empty netter from Ovi at the end. But the story there is first career start for this guy, and he gets the win.
Yeah, and I mean, a really memorable game going on the road against a really good hockey team in New Jersey, and the way that the game flow worked of us getting out to an early lead and them really flipping the script in that second period. And there was a few, so we go down 4-3 in that game, and Shep at the end of the second period stops, I want to say, a breakaway for sure out of the penalty box. I think it was Bastian or whoever for them gets a breakaway, huge stop. Another big save at the end to keep that game 4-3. So we go in and regroup. We get the early the power play to start the third. We score whatever. Stromer scored 20 seconds or 15 seconds in. Like, those saves he makes at the end of the second period to keep that a one-goal game are the difference in the game. It keeps us within striking distance, and we tie it up early. So back to Hunter, is what a memorable first start to get the win. His family was able to fly in for the game and be there. And you never forget your first game, for certainly, but to win in that fashion and to play in that game in the hostile environment against a real good team probably makes it a little bit extra special for him.
Coach, while we're on the topic of goalies, Kemp's was awesome in the shootout win over Minnesota. He saved 39 of 41 shots against him. What are you seeing from him early in the season that gives you confidence that we're going to see more of the Darcy that backstopped the Avs to the Cup a few years ago?
Yeah, he's in the zone right now, and I thought exactly that. Minnesota is more of a shot volume team, so tons of pucks, similar like you saw at the beginning of the year against like a Calgary, where they're shooting from everywhere. The point, offensive zone, they get an opportunity to throw a puck to the net. That's what they're doing, and they're having traffic. And I thought that game especially, then the shootout of him to stop whatever it was, 7 in a row, right? Doesn't give up a goal. You can see his confidence growing, and he's kind of getting in the zone of where he looks really, really confident in the net. And again, against San Jose, 1-1 game, I was going back through the film, and they carried play for like a 2-minute stretch in the third period pretty late. I think there was like 8 or 9 minutes to go, and he made a couple of massive saves. Luke Kunin had a really good chance. Like, and those are what you need in those tight games, a huge save, and it gives your group confidence too. When they feel like they're going to get a big save in a big moment, I feel like our guys respond and feed off of that, and we score, a couple shifts later. Willie gets the game winner to go up 2-1 in that San Jose game. So to sort of his credit, feel like he's really confident right now and in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, good stuff. Keep it going.
Talk to you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, thanks,
Coach
Coach.
Spencer Carbery. Caps have won 3 in a row.